I actually started Remind about 3 years ago because I have a bunch of learning disabilities, and when I was a student, I had no idea how to manage all of my classes. Teachers can sign up on the website or the mobile apps in less than 60 seconds, so everything that teachers, students, and parents should experience should be very simple and lightweight. So they can sign up in 60 seconds, and then they can start typing messages like, don't forget to study, or great job on your presentations, or even if it's communicating with parents, they could say, turn in your permission slips, and it sends as a notification. And the student or parent will receive that message either as a text message or a push notification. And one of the reasons it's been so pervasive is because that is how students communicate via mobile phone. And they actually think it's cool that Ms. Sherry is actually texting them or sending them a push notification.
They love it. And in fact, this year, for the first time, I actually had a student asking whether I need to remember to come to this certain part of your lecture on Thursday. So could you please send me a reminder? So here she was asking me and being proactive about it. So that was really cool.
I think it really engages students. Students are usually on their phones and versus sending an email. It's a lot easier to, remind them what the homework is, and then send them, even with attached, you can send photos and files. So it's really fun for kids to get, little puzzles or just different photos that bring them outside of the classroom, and it really bridges that gap between the classroom. So we have a blog, so it's blog.remind.com, and we have tons of different strategies for best classroom practices to use Remind. We have specific different areas, like if you're a project-based learning teacher, there's some great strategies on there for special needs students, and then just all across the grade level.
So when we started the company 3 years ago, the feedback that we got from teachers like Gina was, I don't have a safe way to communicate and I don't have an efficient way to communicate, because there's a lot of liability issues with a 30-year-old, 40-year-old, 50-year-old teacher sending a text message to a 10-year-old, which everyone knows, and we negate all those things. And so from a product perspective, a teacher never sees a student's number and a student never sees a teacher's number. So we assign a Remind phone number. And then we track a messaging history and make it impossible to delete. And so that's in the case that if a parent were to come to a teacher and say, you said something naughty to my kid. Now, I know it's kind of uncomfortable, but unfortunately for a small percentage of the country, that may have happened. And then the teacher could say, well, no, I didn't. Here's proof. And we make it impossible to delete that message. Very accountable. Yep. And then the students and parents actually can't respond back. So it's only a broadcast. And so in the case where a student were to say something potentially inappropriate, Remind responds to them automatically and says, sorry, you can't message your teacher back. So at every point where a teacher could potentially be in trouble, we've built a safety precaution around it.
So we're announcing our new Remind app. So what's new with the Remind app is that students and parents can now have accounts. So say you have 7 teachers that use Remind. So now students can see all of the messages that they receive from all of their teachers. And also with our attach feature, there are read receipts. So if a teacher sends to all of their students, they can see which students have viewed the attachments and which haven't. So there are no excuses anymore as to if students say that they haven't received it or not.
I think the most important thing for me is just listening to feedback from teachers. So like the entire ethos of our company is built around listening to teachers like Gina and connecting with them. And so we're really, really, really open to getting feedback. So if anyone wants to tweet us, it's just RemindHQ, or just email me at brett@remind.com, and I'm happy to talk about it. So I'm really excited about meeting and talking to teachers.